Hey guys, UFC Fight Night Garcia versus Onama is on this weekend, and I don't give a f***. I've done minimal preparation and have minimal interest in this card, but I'm still probably going to be watching it because I've got nothing better to do. The card's full of the most random collection of bums. It's like the day my bum went psycho, too. Bumageddon. This card is hot, white, dog shit. But I'm going to pick it anyway and roast the fight, so here we go. But nah, man, we got a bit of talent on here. We got Norma Dumont, damn shorty. We got Montserrat Ruiz. We got Cedric's Dumas making a comeback without a ball sack. We got Chang Ho Lee. Chuck Buffalo's on here. Yadir Del Val versus Isaac Dalgarian should be a good fight. Ante DeLiha, Waldo, David Onama and Steve Garcia main eventing. Chang Ho Lee, shit, this card's trash. Nah, it's not that bad really, but these are the ones that somehow turned out to be banger cards, so I'll be watching it. Some of these unknown guys are looking to make a name for themselves in front of the huge crowd at the Apex. Let's see if they're going to throw down. I've got a feeling we're going to see some violence and maybe even some doom. The Doom Index is rising. I reckon it's on, boys. Let's get into the picks and let's punch on. The main event, Steve Garcia versus David Onama. Steve Garcia is a dog. He had a huge KO streak going on at one point. I think he had 9 KO wins in a row before he beat Calvin Kattar by decision. He fought patiently in that fight and gave Kattar plenty of respect, but he toasted him. Almost got him out of there later in the fight. Steve Garcia has solid finishing instincts generally though. He goes hard and he gets guys out of there. Obama's on a decent winning streak right now. Beating Giga Chikadze is not too bad. He gets rocked and chinned in his fights. I feel like Garcia's going to land something on him. I can see it happening in round 3 or 4. Garcia will be patient, more technical. Onama will be having more explosive moments and maybe land some good shots. But Garcia will bide his time, measure his distance, and strike in the middle rounds. Round 3 TKO for Steve Garcia is my call. He's just too clean. Obama's sloppy and hittable in his fights. Garcia gets it done. I didn't really get to watch too much tape for these fights, but I did take the liberty to go back and watch David Onama versus Nate Landwehr.
Fuck me.
What a scrap that was. One of the best slobber knockers of all time. So sick. Worth paying for Fight Pass just to watch scraps like that. Best fights of all time tier list coming soon, TM. So the pick is Garcia by KO. Could be points. There's a whisper maybe of an Onama late rounds turnaround. Maybe Garcia gasses out and Onama turns full zombie like he can do sometimes. But no, I'm feeling a Steve Garcia win here. Let's see if the main event curse lives on. I'm actually excited about how far it can go. Steve Garcia, official main event pick. Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Ante DeLija. I'm going to go with Waldo Cortez Acosta, bro. He hung in there with Sergey Pavlovich and he didn't get completely mogged in there. He got clearly beaten. No idea why he had his hands up at the end. I picked Marcin Tybura to beat Ante DeLija. I can't get too excited about DeLija just beating Marcin Tybura. I reckon Waldo Cortez Acosta is just a solid, technical fighter. He's shit as well, but better than bottom tier heavyweight. He's got a great chin, decent boxing. DeLija, if he wins this, I'll start picking him probably, but I don't know. Waldo. Fuck, am I really picking Waldo? Nah, whatever. Let's just go with Waldo. He's close to the level of Sergey Pavlovich. I know that. Still don't know if DeLija's any good. I watched his highlights package. He's got skill, but he's just versing bums in those fights. So I don't know. I reckon this one might backfire on the UFC. 3-rounder. DeLija's going to have some moments here or there, but Waldo cruises to a close decision win. On we go. Jeremiah Wells versus Themba Gorimbo. I'm going to go with Themba Gorimbo here. I reckon he'll out-hustle Jeremiah Wells. He has a win over Ramiz Brahimaj, which is aging well. Wells is like a Walmart Joaquin Buckley, man. I don't reckon he's anything special at all. Seen a few Gorimbo fights where he looked decent, so I'm going to comfortably go with Themba Gorimbo. I reckon he gets a TKO finish. Isaac Dalgarian versus Yadir Del Val. I watched this guy's last fight. Del Val, he looks sick on his debut. He beat Connor Matthews and he's got a win over Michael Aswell as well. Yadir, he's less well known than some of these other prospects, but I think he's a rising contender for sure. Bulgarian, he came in the UFC with a bit of hype too. He had some good performances. Looked decent against Brendan Marotte in his last performance. Split decision loss to Christian Rodriguez. Not ideal, but he beat Francis Marshall, who I reckon's decent. Tough one to pick. There was something about Yadir Del Valle the last time he fought that I liked. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I'll give him the edge over Isaac Bulgarian here. Got to go with Yadir Del Valle by club and sub. Yeah, that's the call. Let's see what happens with this guy. Next up, Charles Radke versus Daniel Frunza. Charles Radke is my guy, bro. He's only lost to monsters. Carlos Prates and Mike Malott and a few bums on the regional scene back in the day. He beat Semi the fucking Jedi too, which is an absolute banger of a win. Radke, he had a fight fall out a couple of cards ago, I think. He should be in shape. He's keen for a payday, and I reckon he's going to be ready to go. I don't rate Frunza. Nothing much to see from him yet. Lost to Reece McKee, which is pretty stinky. I'm going to go with Charles Radke overpowering him here. I reckon he gets this one done by TKO in a big way. Performance of the night incoming for Chuck Buffalo. Let's lock in Chuck Buff. He is the man. He gets this one done in his sleep. Alan Nascimento versus Cody Durden. Whoa, I had to check myself here. I started getting all keen for the Rafael Estevam versus Alan Nascimento fight, like a total hardcore. But it looks like that fight's off, and now it's Alan Nascimento versus Cody Durden. So I'm tempted to switch up on this one. I was going to low-key pick Alan Nascimento against Rafael Estevam like a fucking total genius, 4,000 IQ play. But now he's going up against Cody Durden, who's the more proven, known fighter here. We know what we're going to get with Cody Durden. He turns up and has a crack. He goes out in his shield and he tries to win. He's coming off a bit of a rough run. He had a nasty KO loss to Jose Ochoa. Joshua Van beat him. Bruno Silva knocked him out. Tagir Ulanbekov beat him. Tagir beat Nascimento too, but that was a split decision. So I don't know. This one's tricky. A lot of coin flip potential on this card. I'm going to save it for another fight though. I'll stick with Alan Nascimento. He beat Jafel Filio, which I think is a pretty good win. That's aging well. He beat Carlos Hernandez. That at least means, you know, he knows some jiu-jitsu. I think he's going to get a submission win over Cody Durden here, but I reckon Durden will put up a good fight. So I'll go late rounds, maybe round 3, submission win for Alan Nascimento. Next fight, Billy Elikana versus Kevin Christian. No idea who Kevin Christian is. Sounds like an ex-member of the Backstreet Boys or something. I'm going to go with Billy Elikana. He looked shit against Guskov, but in hindsight, he hung in there for a bit and he went out on his shield. I like that. Then he beat Ibo Aslan. Not a huge compliment, but, you know, he's got a UFC win now. So I got Elikana having his best performance here. I reckon he gets a TKO in round 1. Fuck it. Why not? Feeling some chaos on this fight. Righto, Timmy Kwamba versus Chang Ho Lee. Gonna go with Chang Ho Lee. He's on a decent win streak. He's been active, beaten Cortavius Romeois and Xiao Long. Timmy Kwamba, I swear he's like a made-up UFC 5 career mode NPC guy who just pops up in your bracket. He lost to Lucas Almeida. I reckon that's enough said right there. Chang Ho Lee by TKO. One of a fair few TKOs in this card, I reckon. All right, next is Dante Johnson versus Cedricus Dumas. What the fuck is Boot Gang still doing in the UFC? How is he fighting in the men's division after what Zach Reese and the Wheel of Doom did to this man? Bruh, I feel personally responsible for that shit. Cedricus, I hope you accept my sincere apology, my brother. I didn't think that the Doom would be that devastating. But here he is. Finally, his balls have come out of his chest and he's taken on Dante Johnson. Bruh, what the fuck? I feel like this guy is an imposter. He's like John Dodson in a trench coat on someone's shoulders trying to sneak back into the UFC. Bro, he's Jonte Dodson. This guy doesn't even have a proper pic on his website. There's like some weird filter on it. I'm convinced this guy isn't going to show up. I sense severe levels on this fight, eh? Jonte Dodson. If he shows up, I reckon he gets it done. Can't pick Dumas, bro. This Dante Johnson guy is sus as fuck. He went pro in August 2024, and he's already 6-0 with 6 round 1 KOs in a row. How have we not heard of this guy? Is he like the Terminator or what? Yeah, I'm going to pick him to beat Cedricus Dumas by TKO. Like I said, expect potential chaos in this fight. Mass is the original Lord of Doom. So let's see what he gets up to this time. I'm hyped for this fight. We're going to go with Jonte Dodson by TKO round 2. I can feel this one in my loins. Speaking of my loins, Ketlin Vieira versus Norma Dumont. Yeah, I'm going with Norma Dumont based on the resume, the speed, the technique, and the bunda. It's got to be said. I can't see Dumont ending up trapped on bottom. So, we like to think she's on top in half guard maybe for the majority of this fight, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, Norma Dumont, she's going to win this by 29-28 decision just through optics, Mackenzie Dern style. Look, there's an argument for Ketlin Vieira to win, but I reckon Dumont takes it on 2 of the 3 judges' scorecards. Got Norma Dumont by points. Alice Ardeljan versus Montserrat Conejo Ruiz. Yeah, same logic for this fight. I'm going to go with Montserrat Conejo Ruiz by the bunda advantage. Dead set, bro. The first time I tried to type Conejo in my notes for this card, it auto-corrected to cake. You can't make that shit up. Ardeljan, she lost to Shauna Bannon, bro. Montserrat is on a 3-fight skid as well. I still reckon she bounces back, if you know what I mean. Jiggles her way around the cage for a few rounds and finds herself in a dominant position and somehow snatches up a submission. Complete guess, but can't be worse than my picks for the last few weeks. Yeah, I got Montserrat Ruiz by submission round 2, rear naked choke. Then we got Phil Rowe, the Fresh Prince, taking on Seok Hyun Ko. Gonna go with Seok Hyun Ko here. I reckon he's legit. These Korean guys always surprise me though, and they get beaten in these type of matchups, so I don't actually know if he's that good. Phil Rowe though, he's just lost so much in his career. He knows how to lose. He's an expert. Seok Hyun Ko, he's got that winning mentality, the winning momentum. He's gonna steamroll Phil Rowe here, I reckon. Phil Rowe by crafty decision was the early lean, but the deeper I dived into Phil Rowe's career, the less impressed I got. 35 years old, somehow washed as fuck. Seok Hyun Ko, in his prime, he gets this one done by TKO. Mark my words. And the fight opening up the card on the early prelims, Talita Alencar versus Ariane Carnelossi. Gonna go with Ariane Carnelossi. She's butcher, more manly, stronger, has massive arms, been in there with better girls. She fought Lupi Godinez and Angela Hill too. Talita Alencar's fought nobody, beaten nobody, so there's nothing to see here. Oh shit, I didn't use the coin flip, so I better chuck it on here. Here we go. Heads is Talita Alencar, tails is Ariane Carnelossi, both ways by decision. Here we go. Heads Talita, tails Ariane. Let's see what it does. Flip. Yep, heads it is. Well, we're getting heads every week, so we're going with Talita Alencar by decision in this one. See what happens. That's it, boys. I managed to string together a bit of coherent logic for you there, I think. I reckon the picks are actually not too bad this weekend, even though the card's a bit cooked and it's a bit of a coin flippy type of card. But yeah, I'm feeling some pretty decent picks here. So hope you enjoyed the video. Like the channel, subscribe, go watch a few of my other videos I've been pumping out lately. Got a few different things on the channel, so go and find something that you enjoy. If you like it, comment on it. Let me know. I'll make some more vids like that. That's it from the predictions for this card. Punch on.